right, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome to your practice. So I'll give everyone a second to grab some props if they need them. So if you have some sort of block or something that's sturdy and similar to that, go ahead and grab that. You may also want a pillow for your sit bones when we sit in our seated position for meditation later. And then if you have the option of a strap, not necessary, but if you do have it, that's helpful. If you don't have a strap, sometimes a towel is helpful. So I'll just give everybody a second to grab what they need. And then once you have that, we'll go ahead and start in a side sit position. So starting in a side sit position, one leg is in front, the other leg is back behind. From here you can use your hands to assist, or you can freestyle without your hands. We're thinking of a nice tall chest as we inhale. We're going to rotate over the front knee, exhale and fold forward, reaching the fingertips forward. If the head can touch the ground, allow it. Otherwise you can bring the elbows in a little bit and just prop yourself up. We'll take a few deep breaths here. On your next exhale, start to rise. Inhale, find length. Keep the feet where they're at, but rotate the knees to the other side. And then exhale over the other side. A couple deep breaths here. On your next exhale, push back up. Inhale over to the other side, get tall, and then exhale, fold. This second time, allow yourself to get playful with it, so maybe you start to rotate further back behind, increasing the stretch. Maybe you reach the hands more towards midline, but just working in that hip, doing what feels good here. Your next exhale, come back up. And then over to the other side. Again, if you want, get playful with it. Otherwise, you can continue to stay in place. Your next exhale, rise. Inhale back to center. And then again, exhale over that front leg. Inhale back up. So my right leg is in front. I'm going to place the right arm down, lift the left arm, lift the hips. Exhale, slowly lower down. Rotate the legs, other side. Exhale back to center, plant that back hand down, lift up. Slowly lower down, switch back to center. Other side. Come back up, lift the hips. Exhale, lower down, rotate and switch. Come back up, lift the hips. Bring yourself back to center. And then from here, we'll go ahead and take the back leg and cross it in front. From From here, we'll inhale and sweep the arms up as we look up. And then exhale, bring the hands forward, reaching all the way down in front of us. Start to walk your hands over to the right. Let your left arm sweep out and around. Twist. Side bend on the right. Exhale the hands back to center. And back down in front. Go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. Again, sweep the arms up as you look up. Exhale, fold forward, reaching out in front. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then walk the hands over to the left. Take your right hand, sweep it up and around. Side bend on the right side. And next exhale, reach both hands up. And bring the hands back to heart center. From here, we'll make our way to the top of our mat into tabletop. Bringing your wrists and elbows underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. As you inhale, tilt the pelvis down, create that arch in the low back, and look up. As you exhale, round through the spine, make your back like a cat, pull the belly button in, drop the head. Inhale, tilt the pelvis down, look up. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, tilt the pelvis up. And continue on with your own breath. As you work through this, feel free to get playful, maybe moving a little bit more as you switch positions. Whatever feels good here this morning. Finish up one more round of each, and then come back to a neutral spine. From here, we'll send the right foot back and the left arm forward. We'll lift the back foot off of the ground as you inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the limbs back, push back to child's pose. We'll come back forward, switch sides, left foot back, right arm forward, lift the limbs. And then exhale, push back to child's pose. Come back to your first side, right leg lift, left arm forward. This time, bring limbs to touch. Exhale back out, and come back to child's pose. Back forward, other side, lift the left leg, right arm reaches out. Limbs to touch, send them back out, and back to child's pose. Continue alternating a few more rounds with your own breath. Inhale, sweep it out. Exhale, limbs to touch. Inhale, sweep it out. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Finish up on that second side. And we'll come to our tabletop position. From here, we'll go through a few rounds of our T-spine. So taking your left hand, bring it just a little bit more towards the midline. And then we'll inhale the right arm up with our twist. Exhale, thread it through. Left hand can stay where it is, or you can reach the arm forward, or reach it up and back, hooking into your right hip. Taking a few deep breaths here. One more exhale. If your hand is on your opposite hip or above, bring it back to center. Inhale, push back up one more time as you twist. And then exhale, hand down. Bring your right hand more towards the center of your midline. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Right arm can stay where it's at, or you can reach the arm forward, or reach it up and back behind you. If your hand is behind or overhead, bring it back in front. Push up as you inhale one more time, sweep up. And then exhale, hand down. Go ahead and take your right foot out to the side. We'll exhale, push the hips back towards our heel. And then inhale, come up. Lift the right limbs. Reach them back behind. Reach them back in front. Open up towards the right. Exhale, lower down. Twist and open towards the left. Exhale, lower down. Lift the foot one more time. Reach it back behind. Bring it back in front. Bring it back down. Push the hips back as you exhale. Inhale back forward to bring the leg back in. Send your left leg out to the side. Push the hips back. Exhale. Inhale, come back forward. Lift the left leg up. Reach it back behind. Bring it back over to the side. Lower it down. Push the hips back as you exhale. Inhale back forward, reach the left arm up as you twist. Exhale back down. Reach the right arm up as you rotate and revolve your twist. Bring it back down. Lift the left legs one more time. Sweep it back around. Send it back out to the side. Exhale, reach the hips back. Inhale, bring the hips forward. Tuck the leg back underneath. From here, push back to our first downward facing dog of the day. So you can take your hands about a hand's distance in front of you. Tuck under the toes and then push yourself back. Take some time to move with what feels good here in your downward facing dog. Maybe you pedal out the feet as I am. Maybe you shake your hips side to side, your head, yes and no. Just giving your body a chance to settle in and wake up here. Take one more exhale here, and then bend the knees deeply, look between your hands and step towards the top of the mat. Feet can be about hip width apart. Cross opposite elbows for ragdoll. Let your knees bend as much as you need as you exhale and fold. Again, get playful in this position, do what feels good. Maybe you shift your hips side to side. Maybe you straighten one leg and the other. Or just let the arms hang heavy. And then exhale, lower the hands down. Inhale, root down, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length through your spine. Exhale, fold. Send your right foot back. Come on down to low lunge. Bring the hands inside of the left leg. We'll take a few deep breaths here. If it's accessible to you, you can always bring the elbows down. And then if you have a block handy, just make sure it's nearby. Start to walk your hands back, tilting up the toes of the front feet. Bring your chest down towards your leg as much as you can. Soften the knee here if needed. Bring your hips back forward. Bring the block in front of your right hand, bring your right hand to the block, or if it's accessible, you can bring your right hand to the floor, and then start to revolve and twist towards the left. Either pushing that left knee open as you open the chest, or you can start to reach the hand up overhead. If you want to add a little more fire, you can lift that back knee. And then come back to center, remove the block, walk your front foot, your left foot, a little bit further in front, and again, send the hips back. From here, we'll rotate towards the side of our mat. And then from here, one leg will be out to the side. Shift the hips back. Inhale, come back forward. Use the hands to help press the bent knee back up. Start to reach the legs out to the sides, finding that wide-legged forward fold. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. We'll inhale and find length. And then exhale, fold. Taking a few deep breaths here. Letting gravity do its job. Try to relax through your jaw. Equal distribution of pressure through all four sides of your feet. If you're super flexible in the hamstrings, maybe a micro bend in the knees so that we're not hyperextending here. And then we'll inhale, come back up to halfway lift. And then if you used a block on the first side, bring it over to the back of your mat as you rotate your feet and lower that knee down. Again, bring the hands inside of the front leg, inside of that right foot to start. And we'll spend a few deep breaths here. Again, if it's accessible to you, you could bring your elbows down to the floor. And then start to walk your hands back, lift up the front toes. Hands can come on either side of that front leg as you shine the heart forward down towards your thigh. then walk the hands back forward. If you use that block again, bring it underneath your left hand. Start to twist to the right, either pushing the right knee open or lifting the arms overhead. If you want to build some more heat, you can tuck under the back toes, lift the back leg. If your back knee is up, slowly bring it down. Remove the block. Start to walk your front foot a little bit more forward. And then again, lift the toes as you send the hips back. Modified pyramid here. And then start to bend the front knee, walk yourself back forward, rotating yourself to the side of your mat. Send your hips back as you exhale. Inhale, come back forward. Use your hands to press into, tuck under the back toe of the left foot, lift the knee, send it out to the side for wide-legged forward fold. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale and find length. Exhale and fold. Inhale, find length. And then again, bring your block back to the front of the mat. Start to walk your hands forward. Come back down to that low lunge. And then from here, again, lift the back knee. Step it forward to forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, all the way up, gaze up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step or float back to plank. Lower down halfway or all the way to the knees for chaturanga. We'll inhale up to baby cobra to start. And then exhale, push back to downward facing dog. As we start to flow a little bit more, know that child's pose is always an option for you. If you ever are unable to stick with your breath, you can always come to child's pose at any point, especially in downward facing dog. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And on your next exhale, bend the knees deeply, look forward, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, find length through your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, fold. Step or float back to plank. Lower down halfway, chaturanga, on or off the knees. Coming up to upward dog this time. Push it back, downward facing dog. Holding for 5 breaths. On your next exhale, bend the knees deeply. Step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, find length through your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. From here, big toes will touch, knee or heels can be slightly apart. We'll bend the knees deeply, sweep the arms behind. Inhale, reach the arms up for chair pose. Exhale, bring the hands down, step or float to plank. And take your vinyasa, lower down halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reach your right foot up towards the ceiling. Bend through the knee and send it through. Pivot your back foot down 45 degrees. Root down through your feet and rise up to warrior one. Keep squaring your shoulders off to the front of the room. Strong through that back leg. And then exhale, open up to warrior two. Back foot pivots parallel to the short end of the mat. Gaze off the front fingertips. Start to inhale and reach the fingertips forward as far as you can. And then exhale, bring the hand to the thigh. Sweep the back arm forward for extended side angle, bicep to ear. If it's accessible to you, can bring the hand down or find that block. Or you could even reach back around and hook in that extended side angle pose. From here, start to straighten the back leg or the front leg. Walk your back foot in to shorten the stance. That front arm is down the shin. Top arm is reaching up overhead, creating that triangle from your armpit, your hip crease, and where your hand reaches at the shin, really lifting up the side body. Gaze can either be up at your top fingertips, or if it's easier on the neck, down at your big toe. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Look down at your right foot. Start to pull your right hip back to square off your feet. Maybe even walk that stance in a little bit more. And then again, if you have that block, bring your left hand down to the block now. Right hand to the right hip. Keep pulling that right hip back. And then start to twist and rotate to the right for a revolved triangle. If the flexibility in that T-spine, that mid-back is there, maybe you start to open up that top arm. Again, gaze up at either your elbow or your hand, or down at your right big toe. Bring your gaze back forward. Take your back foot, reach it back so you can lower the knee all the way down. And then again, left hand is down at that block and we'll twist for that extended side angle pose. Option to lift the back knee. And then exhale the hand outside of that right foot. Place the block out of your way. Lift the back toes, step your right foot back. We'll lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale the upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll hold for a few breaths. As always, child's pose is an option here if you need it. On your next exhale, bend the knees deeply, look between your hands, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, find length through your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll go through the other side. Again, big toes should touch, heels can be separated. Bend the knees deeply, inhale, sweep the arms up, chair pose. Exhale, reach the arms down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, fold, step or float it back. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take the left foot, reach it up into the ceiling. Bend through the left knee and step it through. Warrior one, back foot pivots down 45 degrees. Root down to rise up. Squaring off the shoulders to the front of the room. Exhale, open up to warrior two, back foot reaches parallel to the short end of the mat. If you can bend more into that front knee, do so. Fingertips off, gaze off of the front fingertips. And then as you inhale, start to reach the front fingertips as far forward as you can. And then place the forearm down onto your thigh. Sweep the back arm up and over. Arm to bicep for extended side angle. Again, options here. You can bring one hand down to the floor to your block. You can sweep the back arm back and around, grabbing on for a twist. Doing whatever feels good here. And just continuing to elongate that side body. Reach the arm up overhead, start to straighten through the back leg, shorten that stance, and then from here reaching the arm down the shin, setting up for triangle pose. Again, creating that triangle with the armpit, the hip, and where the hand is touching on the shin, lifting up that side body as you reach overhead. Gaze again either up at the fingertips or down at your big toe. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Start to look down at your front foot. Take your left hand also to your left hip. Maybe shorten the stance even a little more. Rotate the forward more forward. And really pull back that left hip. If a block is nearby, we'll bring the right hand to the floor. And then start to twist and rotate to the left, revolving our triangle. Again, gaze can be up at the elbow or hand overhead, or you can look down again at that left big toe. Keep pulling that left hip back. And then start to bend through the front knee. Send your back leg all the way back. Lower the knee down. Keeping your right hand onto the block or floor. Start to twist and rotate to the right for extended side angle pose. Option to build fire and to lift the back leg. And then bring that left hand down towards the outer edge of the left foot. Remove the block if it's there. Lift your back knee, step your left foot back. Option to push back to child's pose or to take your vinyasa. Taking 5 deep breaths there. Always the option to come to child's pose. On your next exhale, bend the knees deeply, look forward, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, find length through your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll go through a bit of some standing balancing. So placing most of your weight in that right foot. Left toes are just slightly tapping to find your balance. And then once you have it, we'll set up for tree pose. So externally rotating the knee out, kickstanding that left heel into the right shin, or you could bring it all the way to the shin, or you could assist it up into the thigh, always avoiding the kneecap. And then from there, arms can either come out to the side, palms out, hands can come to heart center, arms overhead. Gaze can just be slightly in front, finding a non-moving place on the floor. Gaze can be forward, off the tip of the nose. Gaze can look up to test the balance. Or you can close the eyes. Finding stillness in this pose. Keeping your face soft. And then you can bring your hands back to heart center if they're not already there. Without putting the left foot down, we'll bring the knee in front. Either grabbing on with your left hand, right hand to right hip, or you could extend the leg without anything holding on. You could grab your strap, or you could hook with your index and middle finger. So kind of 4 options there. Holding on the knee, letting the leg extend, hooking with a strap, or hooking with your fingers. Whichever option you have, release the leg, but still keep it up, and then we'll send it straight back for Warrior 3. Arms either are straight back behind you, they could be out like an airplane, or they could be forward, finding whichever option is best. Flexing that back foot and really pushing it back towards the wall behind you. Keep lifting the back leg. We'll inhale and bring the leg back forward into whichever variation you had. One more time here. And then release, kick it back, Warrior 3. Find stillness and softness here. And then bring the knee back into the chest and slowly lower it down, shaking that right leg out. We'll then find the balance on that left side. You can just place the toes of the right foot into the floor as you ground through your left side. Then from here, maybe we kickstand that foot into the shin. Maybe we bring the foot fully onto the shin, or assist the leg up into the thigh, but never on the knee. And then again, your arms can either go palms forward, arms out to help with the balance, arms at heart center, or reaching the arms up overhead. Find your gaze point. Soften the breath, soften the body. Wherever your arms are at, bring them to heart center. Without placing the foot down, release from your thigh or shin. And then grab that knee, pulling it in. Again, your options, grab a strap, pull it in, just lift the leg without a strap, or hook the big toe. Again, whichever variation you're in, we'll then send it straight back to warrior three. If this is too much or the balance isn't there, you can always kickstand the leg back and just work on lifting that foot, work on your balance. Bring the leg forward one more. Again, in whatever variation you were in. And again, exhale, release it back, warrior three. And then exhale, bring the knee back to center. And then lower it down. Shake it out. If you're not forward on your mat, square yourself back up to the front. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, fold. Step or float it back to plank. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, step it through to seated. And bring the legs forward in front. Extend your left leg long. Bring the sole of your right foot to the left thigh. Remove the flesh from those sit bones so you're fully sitting on the bony part of your butt. And then square your shoulders off towards the leg in front. We'll sweep the arms up as we inhale. And then exhale, forward fold, grabbing down for either toes, ankles, or shin. As you exhale, come back up to a tall chest. Take your right bent leg and pull it across your body. Pulling the knee in so foot will be off the floor. Give it a hug, work on that tall chest. Inhale, find length through your spine. Now lower that left foot or right foot all the way down onto the floor. Take your right hand and place it behind your right sit bones. Inhale, sweep the left arm up and find height here. And then exhale and twist over to the right as you hook over that right knee. Again, with each inhale, find length. With each exhale, push and look further behind you. Keeping your feet where they're at, release your hands, come back to center. Place both hands behind you, start to bend through that straight left leg, setting up for a modified pigeon in that seated position. To intensify that stretch, you can bring the extended leg closer to your body. You can walk the hands closer to your midline as well. Taking a few deep breaths here. On your next exhale, take the top leg and extend it long. Bring your left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Again, remove the flesh from those sit bones so you can fully sit on your butt bone. Square off your shoulders towards your front right leg. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, fold. your next exhale, release the hands, come up to a tall seated position. Take your left leg and bring it across your body. Foot can be free from the floor as you hug it in. Again, find length through that torso. A couple deep breaths here. Let the left leg plant all the way down onto the mat. Take your left hand and place it right behind your left sit bone. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. As you exhale, twist over to the left, hooking over that left knee. 5 deep breaths here. Keeping your feet where they're at, release the hands. Bring them back behind you as you start to bend through that straight leg, finding your modified pigeon pose. You can always walk the hands closer to the midline or pull the front leg closer to the midline to intensify the stretch. Release the top leg, let the legs cross over, and we'll push ourselves forward and through to a plank pose. And then slowly from here, lower yourself down as slowly as you can. We'll set up for a half locust pose, so bring the tops of the feet down onto the floor. Your arms can come back behind you, palms up. We're going to lift the limbs, the chest, and one leg at a time for a half locust pose. So I'll press down through my top of my left foot. Exhale and lift. Exhale, lower back down. Press the top of the right foot down as you lift the left leg with the limbs. Inhaling here. Exhale down. Press through the left top of the foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Switch sides. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more each side. From here, bring the soles of the feet together. And we'll lift for full locust now, pressing down through your pubic bone. Inhale, lift and rise. Exhale, lower all the way down. From here, start to bend through the front legs. We're going to grab onto the soles of the feet. You could also potentially use your strap, hooking it around the tops of the feet here. From here, we'll lift the hips, lift the chest, lift the heart. One more inhale, and then exhale, lower down and release. Bringing the hands underneath your shoulders, tucking under the toes, or sorry, not tucking under the toes. We'll lift up to upward facing dog, and then exhale, push back, downward facing dog. We'll again step it through to seated. And then we'll lower ourselves all the way down onto the mat. From here, we'll set up for bridge pose. So you should be able to graze the backs of your heels with your fingertips. Knees are about hip distance apart. You want to think about actively pressing the knees together, or if you have that block, you can place it between your knees as a reminder to keep pressing the knees together so that they're not splaying out to the sides. From here, we'll start to lift the hips, lift the back. Maybe you walk your shoulders underneath and clasp the hands, keeping your neck neutral, not looking side to side. On your next exhale, start to slowly lower down. We'll do that one more time, and if full wheel is in your practice with the hands back behind, feel free to take that instead. Whenever you're ready, you can start to lift the hips, lift the shoulders, tuck them underneath, and we'll hold for 5 breaths. When you're done with 5 breaths, you can lower down onto your back. Once you finish that last round, you can set up for heart opener pose. Soles of the feet touching, legs splaying out to the side. Hands either come onto the thighs, palms up onto the floor, or one hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach. Maybe you soften the gaze here. And just taking a moment to thank your body for all that it's capable of. Being thankful for another day of awakening and being alive here on your mat. If your eyes are soft, you can softly open them, and we'll bring the knees together and then pull the knees into your chest, giving them a squeeze. Option to stay in place or maybe rock side to side, whatever feels best here. And then for me, we'll set up for happy baby. Bring the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Grabbing the outer edges of the feet, pressing your pubic bone down so that there's no rounding of the low back. And then start to pull the feet back towards you. Again, option to stay in place or to rock. Or to extend and straighten one leg. Doing whatever feels good here. Then you can release happy baby. Take the time here to do any last minute poses that you would like. For those on Instagram, I'm going to reset our video so that we don't get kicked off at the hour, and then we'll do our 15 minutes of meditation to close. So for those that are signing off from here and are not coming back on for meditation, namaste to you, peace be with you. You can go ahead and go to corpse pose and spend a few minutes there. Otherwise, if you're joining us for meditation, I'll stop the recording now. We will restart for meditation, and we'll also do corpse pose at the end.